This is Dr. Z speaking to you from the year 20.23. As usual, I will answer questions that were asked of me by my assistants who viewed the preceding Q shafts. Question number 1. If you are going to tell of deaths that will occur, why don't you offer help which will prevent these deaths? Answer. I have no control over what has already happened. Since those deaths have occurred in my past, nothing that I can say can prevent those deaths from happening, no matter how wasteful that may be. One cannot change the past. Question number 2. Where is all this headed? Answer. My intention is to have most of the remaining Q shafts describe what will happen in your future. I will outline for you the future history of your society. Since some of you have used my Q shafts to keep you alive up to my present, I will warn those who are willing to be warned, and I will advise those who are willing to be advised. For all others, please do not waste the limited amount of time you have left watching these Q shafts. The changes that will come within several years of your time originated from the failing of economic concerns around the globe. You should already be seeing this in your present day. The difference between this failure and similar failures in your historical past is the availability of information to the masses. This information will describe who was responsible for and who manipulated the economic failures, and define the reasons for these failures. Of course, this information will spread through your internet. The first indication that things are changing for you that will prevent you from returning to normalcy is when powerful financial and economic leaders are physically assaulted by the disenfranchised, the poor within the United States. It will start with assaults that employ non-lethal weapons, but it will progress to lethal attacks, kidnappings, violent boycotting, and mass destruction of property. Of course, the moneyed will strike back. Since they are in control of the legislative processes, legislators at the federal and state levels will pass laws that will declare such attacks on the wealthy as terrorist actions. The attackers will be subjected to the loss of habeas corpus, all property, and so forth. Within that place, hundreds of thousands of citizens will be preventatively rounded up and placed in concentration camps. These camps will mostly be located in the southwest United States. Unfortunately for the moneyed, this will not have the intended outcome. Rather than depressing the passions of the poor, it will stimulate their vengeance. Large guerrilla groups composed of the poor will be armed with advanced weapons, and they will strike back at the moneyed. The moneyed will reply by hiring entire quote-unquote security companies to react proactively and defensively in their behalf. Squeezed in the middle of these conflagrations will be the majority of the population, and all be harmed by the actions of both sides. These types of actions will continue for about 2 years. Of course, these battles will have a global effect. Tensions will originate between countries, but then they will be passed down to more and more local federations, until neighbor will be fighting neighbor. Then the attacks will shift to another front because of unforeseen circumstances. I will supply more details of this during the next Q shaft. I need to address another subject. In one of the first Q shafts, I warned you about people trying to impersonate me. I don't know why this was done. The drifters said that all those who followed the impersonators ended up being destroyed in the upcoming violence. I can only assume that the impersonators were pursuing some sort of personal greed. I will state again, simply for the sake of honesty, so that you can make a decision based on the facts. Beware of the fabricators, the small z, Dr. Z's. Finally, this is my sternest warning and the most important message that I've given to you. You can't open a trapdoor when you're standing on it.